So you've used the strategy that I laid out for you in my former video, and now you've found your luxury hotel. How do you make sure that you're getting the most out of it? Because while 85% is in the hotel's hands, you have about 15% influence on how good it's actually going to go and how you're going to be treated. And I'm talking about upgrades, little surprises, and the stuff just going the extra mile for you. In this video, I'm going to show you what actually makes the difference and the things that I always do whenever I book a hotel. Hi, I'm Savannah, a luxury travel content creator. On Maps and Suitcases, you'll find travel vlogs, luxury hotel review vlogs, and travel tips. If you're into luxury travel, boutique hotels, and creating trips that actually make you feel special, you're in the right place. I post my weekly videos on Friday and my weekly vlogs go live on Wednesday. Now let's get into it because this is going to change how you book and experience hotels. First, let's start with booking smart. I know that I've created a whole video on this part, so if you really want to get into this, then check out my former video. But let me give you a small summary on how you are actually going to find the right hotel. You go to your hotel search engine. Mine is booking.com, and you filter on hotels, 5 stars, and review 9+. Then you're checking the vibe. Does it match with yours? And then you're going to look for common themes in reviews so that you know, do I want to continue with this hotel or do I not want to continue with this hotel? Then check the location, where it's located, the neighborhood, and all of that. If you want more details on what I just mentioned, then make sure to check out the other video because I have like a full in-depth video about all of the topics that I just mentioned. Now that you know how to choose the right luxury hotel, you don't want to book the cheapest room. If you book the cheapest room, you are stuck there. Then nothing is happening. Then you are getting that exact room that you booked. The thought behind this is that when you book the cheapest room, you cannot be moved because they cannot put someone else who booked like a more expensive room in your cheaper room. If you book the cheapest room, you're stuck. So try to always book something like the deluxe room or anything so they have flexibility to move you around. They can easily give you a free upgrade. How this actually works, there's a whole system behind it. I know because I have done my fair share of free upgrades while I was working at the front desk of the hotels. But how it actually works is that they just sell more rooms, more standard rooms than they have available. Then they get overbooked. Then they will give some people a free upgrade to a more expensive room so that they have more room for the overbooked rooms. I hope that that makes sense. Okay, then we get to the email. And you're like, email? What? Yeah, that's because most people don't do this. They don't even think about doing this. Wow, this can be such a game changer. So what you do after you book the room, you send the hotel an email. It doesn't have to be anything big or fancy. It can just be a short email to tell them, you know, I just booked this hotel and I am coming. So what I usually do, I will also put the script in the description. But what I usually send them, hi, I just booked my stay at hotel name and I'm really looking forward to my stay. It's for occasion. And I love hotels with your preference. What restaurant do you recommend? If you have any other recommendations, I'd love to hear it. It's easy as that. So that they know that you're coming, you stop being the booking, but you start being a person. They see your name, and whenever they will see your name again, they know you. And they will just go out of their way for you. They will do literally more for you than someone who doesn't send in an email because they have already connected with you as a person and they haven't connected with the others. And it doesn't have anything to do with preferences or any of that, but if you already have a connection with a person, that you will do more for them than with a person that you haven't connected with. And the same goes for what I'm about to mention, how you act when you're checking in. And also in your email, you're already talking about what is important to you. So if you value, for example, a quiet room or a quiet hotel or any of that, they will go out of their way to make sure that you have a quiet room. They will not put you next to an elevator, for example. That's how it works. And if they don't have that information, they cannot do that. But if they do, then they can. They put all of your information in your reservation, so that everybody that opens your reservation can see who is this person, what are they asking for, what do they want, how can we make them happy. And this is literally the difference between a standard check-in and a 5-star level check-in, because they already know you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and also Rome is coming. That means a Rome travel vlog, and because we're going for 6 days, not 1 but 2 hotel review vlogs in Rome. So if you're planning for Rome in the future, you have to experience those videos that are coming. So the arrival time. You of course have a certain check-in time. Doesn't mean that you can only arrive after check-in time. I know that most people think that rooms are being assigned while they are like checking in, but that's not the case. In most of the time, they are being assigned the evening before, or when there is a holiday or an event and it's super busy, then it can even be days before. So usually, if they are well prepared, everybody already has a room number assigned when you arrive. And of course, if you arrive earlier than someone else and that room from someone else, that if you book the same room, by the way, that room from someone else is clean and yours isn't, they can switch that so that you have a clean room. And check-in is possible when the room is clean and available. Then you can just check in and you can already go up to the room and you don't have to wait until it's like 3 p.m, which is check-in time for most hotels. So my advice is arrive around lunchtime, because most rooms are already done by then. Not many people have arrived yet, so they can still switch up the room numbers. It's also not really busy during that time, so there's more flexibility and availability for those 5-star check-ins. Now, this is probably the most important one. Be the person that someone else wants to help. And it makes sense, total sense, probably, hopefully. I have seen so many people where this wasn't the case. You want to arrive as a kind and polite person, not someone that just feels entitled just because they booked a 5-star hotel. If you're someone that walks in rushed, busy on their phone, not paying any attention to the one checking them in, you are going to receive a standard check-in. Why would someone ask you even an additional question if you're even way too busy to just pay attention to them? And besides that, it's also just really rude. If you have a phone call, then first complete your phone call before you do the check-in. And stop texting, please. So be calm, friendly, and open. If this video has been helpful so far, make sure to give it a like. Let me know in the comments what you're going to do differently next time that you are booking a hotel. And then I want to talk about small things that change the entire experience for you. Think about asking for recommendations from the staff, remembering someone's name and use it, because they often have their name right there, saying thank you in a genuine way. Sounds super basic and normal, but almost nobody does it, and it immediately gives an opening to a way more in-depth conversation. You go from being a guest to someone they know. And then things happen, like better tables at breakfast, small extras, more attention to detail. Because they can, because they know you. because they know more about you than the other person that is checking in. So they know how they actually can go the extra mile. Once you start doing this, you'll notice that your stays feel completely different. Have you ever had a hotel experience that felt unexpectedly amazing? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you back next week.